Hey y'all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever part of the day it is for you. I hope that it's good. I hope that you had the time this weekend to just be. Coming off this 3-day weekend, I hope that you had the opportunity to be great, to be lazy, to be crazy, to be funny, to be sad, to be happy, whatever be is for you. I hope that you had the opportunity to just be. So without further ado, we're going to move right into our lesson for this week. It is week 4. So we're on week 4 this week. This is our Tuesday lesson, and let's get into it. Our objective for today is you will respond using acquired and content and academic vocabulary. So you're going to use acquired vocabulary, content vocabulary, words that are in the what we're getting ready to read and what we're getting ready to understand and what we're getting ready to learn about. And you're going to respond using academic vocabulary. So the information or the words that we're getting ready to learn or refresh, if you already know them, these are considered academic vocabulary words that you're going to see in school, you're going to see in the professional arena as you go to college and as you go or university or trade school, or even just in whatever profession that you go into. These are some of the words that you will see. Today, we're going to go do our expectations. We're going to engage in our mindful minute. We're going to talk about our do now activity. We're going to go into our vocabulary and the vocabulary activity. And we're going to do our independent work where you falcons fly and do the work off on your own. You're going to need your handout or your vocabulary activity PowerPoint, and I'll show you how to navigate to that in just a moment. Let's move into our Beatitudes. It's week 4. Wanted to remind you of what your Beatitudes actually are. So you're welcome to engage in saying it, repeating after me when I say the Beatitude. But I'm also going to read and remind us of what that B is. Not just saying the B, but just reminding us as a refresher what is being engaged, what is being respectful, what is being great, what is being myself, what is being beyond, what is it? Okay, so say it loud, proud, strong, and if you can, as loud as you can, just so that you can get that thing all up in your pores and just you believe it if you say it enough. Okay, so I will be engaged. I will live in the moment and remove all distractions, mental or otherwise, in order to fully understand the work that we're about to do. I will be respectful. I will respect myself and others and live up to the class motto, hashtag positive vibes only. I will be great. I will log in daily, have integrity, and have a growth mindset. I will be myself. I know that I matter and I will bring my authentic self each and every day, period. I will be beyond. I will be better than what I think I am because chances are I am already there. All right. So let's move right into our mindful minute and set our intentions for today.
Take this 1 minute to connect with your breath. Just feel yourself breathing in and feel yourself breathing out without trying to manipulate or change your pattern of breathing. Relax your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Notice how different one breath is from the next. It's the same with life. One day, one moment, different from the next, ever changing, ever evolving. What is going through your mind right now? let it slip away. Just for this moment, come back to harmony. You are safe. You are accepted. You are forgiven. And you are loved.
All right. Now we're ready to be great. I just want to hone in on what the speaker said at the end. You are safe. You are loved. And this week is Suicide Prevention Week. And for anyone that you may know, or even if it's you, just know that you're safe and that you're loved. And if you ever need anybody to talk to, I am always here. And there's also the suicide prevention hotline, and you will see that information at the very top of the week. Okay, so let's move into our do now activity. Go do now activity. We're on week of September the 8th through September the 11th. We're going to click on Tuesday. And this is our do now activity. Quick write, journey to adulthood. Okay? So you click right on that. And as you guys should know by now, is that a quick write is a response to an answer or a topic, a question, a song that you hear. It's just pretty much a response to whatever I put in front of you. So you're going to take 5 minutes and write the first thing that comes to your mind after you read the following quote. Now you understand why Peter Pan didn't want to grow up. So if anybody know anything about Peter Pan and the Neverland and how he didn't want to grow up, read this quote and then read what's directly under the quote. Think about the challenges that most people face on their journey to adulthood. Peter Pan, your mom, your dad, your sisters, maybe, because you can actually see them, your siblings, if you have any cousins, aunts, if you have some that you've actually watched go into adulthood. Think about the challenges that they face. Think about on your own journey to adulthood right now to this day. What do those challenges look like? What are your challenges as you move into adulthood, as you go into adulting? Do you understand why Peter Pan didn't want to grow up? Or do you think Peter Pan tripping? Whatever the answer is for you, remember a quick write, there is no wrong or right answers. You are required to do this starting now, at least 5 sentences. There are no wrong or right answers, again, like I said, and spelling is not a huge issue. The biggest thing that I want you guys to remember is that we are not using text talk. There is no IDK, no IKR, no LM, no P. We are going to use complete sentences. We're going to use complete phrases. We're going to write the word out completely. We're going to use proper nouns. We're going to make sure that we try to at least capitalize those nouns. I'm not going to be, you won't get points off if your grammar is not as good, but you will get points off if you're using text talk. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to move on with the video, but you can pause right here and go take about 5 minutes, do that quick write, and then come right back. Okay. All right, and we're back. I hope that you did have that opportunity and you paused the video and you actually engaged in that quick write. And I'm really curious to see what kind of challenges you guys see that other folks face and that you even face as you journey into adulthood. All right, so let's move into our next item on our agenda, which is our vocabulary. Okay, so I'm going to show you what that vocabulary handout look like, or Google slide look like. And so it's right under your do now activity. There is the this or that vocabulary choice board activity 1. As you can see, when we engage in our vocabulary, I try to make it that it's more relatable to you. And so now we're getting into the different type of choices you can do when you are engaging with your vocabulary, when you get ready to try to figure out what is the definition of the word. We try to figure out how to use that word in a sentence. So there's going to be multiple different ways you're going to show me that you understand what that word means. And so eventually it's going to be at least, 6 to 7 activities that you can choose from. You can choose to do the vocabulary board. You can choose to do the Facebook page for each vocabulary word, and then you can choose to do these new activities that you're going to learn about right now. Right now. Okay? So this is what the vocabulary activity handout looks like. Um, the most important thing that you need to understand is watching this video before you complete this activity. I can go through it through this video, but it will make this video extremely long. So there is a separate video in the vocabulary activity that you are required to view. I will know that if you didn't view it because you would be completing the activity incorrectly, because again, it is a choice board. You can either do parts of speech or emojis, and the video breaks down what that activity is and how to do that activity. Okay, so don't forget, click on the watch me and watch the video before you start to do the activity. Okay, so let's talk about the actual vocabulary words that you're going to be interacting with in that vocabulary activity. The first word is voluntary. Okay, voluntary is done, given, or acting on one's own free will. You doing it because you want to do it. You say, hey, I'll do it. Period. It's literally that simple. Voluntary, you usually see that when you're talking about doing community service, like, oh, are you going to volunteer? Okay, that's a noun way of part of speech when we say volunteer. That's another way of saying voluntary. Okay, so doing something on your own free will, no one's making you, and it's usually not paid. Okay. The second word, I'm sorry, is subsequent, coming after something in time, following. It is something following. Okay. So think of it like this. First, we went to the store and we went to the store around the corner. Subsequently, we bought a bag of Takis. Okay, so it came after something in time. Because we went to the store, we got chips. If we never went to the store, we couldn't have gotten chips, right? So subsequent is following, right? What happened after you in time, okay? The third word, elucidate. Elucidate means to explain something. I elucidate all the time because I'm always explaining to you guys how to do your lesson. So I'm attempting to make it clear. Whatever the assignment is, like right now, I'm attempting to make the word elucidate clear to you. I'm explaining it to you. Okay? The fourth word is procedure, an established or official way of doing something. An example of procedure. When we look at our to-do list, every time we do a video, you see my video lesson, I've always go over the objective, I go over what we're going to do, and I also let you know what you will need. That is a procedure. It is an established way of doing something. I do it every single time. It is my procedure to go over the objective, to go over the to-do list, and to tell you what you will need. Procedure. Okay. The last word is expedite. The expedite is to make an action or process happen sooner or to be accomplished more quickly. Expedite simply means do it quickly. Do it quickly. Do it fast. Do it faster. Okay? Think about it like this. When you go to Whataburger or whatever fast food restaurant is your fave, you go to, say for instance, you go through the drive-through line and they forgot to put your fries inside, right? So now you got to go inside. It's a fast food restaurant. You're going inside, but there's a long line out there inside, and people are trying to get their food. They're trying to make their order, what have you. But because you already went through the line, you go on the side and you say, "Hey, excuse me, you forgot to put my fries in." You do that because you want them to expedite your order because you've already been in line. So they need to do it quicker. They need to do it quickly. They need to make the process of you getting your food quicker because you've already been in the line and you ain't waiting no more. Period. Right? So you want them to expedite it. You want them to move quickly. Okay? So those are the 5 words that you're going to be using when you go into your vocabulary activity. And honestly, that is what you all guys are doing today. You are doing your do now. You're going to do your vocabulary activity. And then your next steps involve you completing the vocabulary activity and then submitting it. Okay, making sure that you do all 5 words and that you follow the instructions in the vocabulary activity video that is inside of the vocabulary activity PowerPoint, right? Yeah. Then, or subsequently, you will preview the story Gone and Back Again, A Traveler's Advice. Miss McCoy, what is that? You're going to go back to week of 9/8 and 9/11. Remember, we're on Tuesday. And let me pull it up for you. It's actually going to be right here. And notice it says, take a glimpse at Gone and Back Again, A Traveler's Advice. There is no assignment attached to this activity today. The idea is for you to preview what we will read tomorrow or Wednesday so that you can start making connections using schema. Last week, we talked about schema. We talked about building our background knowledge, right? We talked about using our background knowledge. We know that schema is what I already know, is what the connections that the information is already in my head. That's schema. Okay, so all you're required to do is just pretty much glimpse over it. Read the text features. Okay, we see that Gone and Back Again, a traveler's advice. We see that it's the explanatory text. What does that mean? It means an explanation. It's going to probably teach me something, tell me something. We're using our schema, what we already know, to try to figure out, okay, what are we gonna be reading tomorrow? Okay, so you go over it, read through it, and that is all you're literally required to do for that step. Finally, you're going to watch the Odyssey summary video. We'll be reading this epic poem because even though it's a very, like, over 1,000, I think it's 1,200 line poem that's thick as a book, that is very, very thick. And by thick, I mean it is a very thick book. Don't worry, we're not reading the entire thing, but just wanted to give you an idea of what the book actually what it looks like. And it's a poem. It is a poem. It's written in verse and stanzas. Remember, we read America. We talked about stanzas. We talked about different types of poetry. And this is called an epic poem. And we're getting ready to read excerpts from this story. So I want you guys to, again, develop some schema. And after you glimpse over Gone and Back Again, watch the summary of the Odyssey, the YouTube video that's at the bottom of the page. Once you have completed that, You are done for the day. Okay? You are completely done for today. And I will see you guys again tomorrow. Now go be